Hey guys, this is Andreas from Pocketables, and if you checked the site today, you've probably seen John's article on the HTC accessibility to use a Bluetooth remote as a camera shutter, which is it's a nice feature and it's a stock feature, so it's more likely going to be used than something that you actually have to add yourself. That being said, however, it is actually something you can add yourself. I don't have any Bluetooth headsets that I can really play around with, so instead I went to something that I do have to play around with, which is a Wii remote, a game controller for the Wii console. So I'm just going to show you a couple of different methods you can use to set up this controller to work as a camera shutter. First of all, I'm going to start up this app, which is USB Bluetooth Joystick Center. It's an app that allows you to basically handle the entire connection between game controller and device. So I'm going to hold in these two keys to put it in pairing mode and wait for the app to pick it up. And then what I've done here is I'm just going to enable the IME feature. I have programmed these buttons right here to act as volume up and down, because you can actually also use that as a media remote if you want to do that. Let's say you have it connected to a stereo or something, and you can actually use the controller as volume keys. But that's a story for another day. Let's go into Camera 360, which is an alternative camera app, and since this is pointing right down, you can actually see that it's a camera, but it is. And in the settings for this app, if I can actually find those, there is an option called volume button function. And basically what that means is that if I click the volume button on the device itself, there we go. It didn't work on the device itself because this is actually overriding it, it would seem, but I have set the Wii controller now to act as the volume button, which is why the actual device button didn't work. But as you can see, since this is now basically a volume control, I can just use this as a remote shutter, and that works fine. However, people might not want to actually use Camera 360. I mean, I don't use it myself, even though it has been known to produce better images, if you see an article I posted a few days ago. But there are also ways of making it work with the stop camera app. However, that method requires root. Basically, if you go back into USB Bluetooth Joystick Center and just let it sort of find the device again, and then I'm going to enable a plugin that requires root, which is called Joystick To Touch, which basically allows you to emulate touch features using a game controller. And what this does is that it allows me to go into the main photo app, the main camera app I mean, and what I can do is, I have already programmed which buttons do what, but basically I've set these two buttons to be enter and exit touch edit mode. So if I click this button right here, touch edit mode is on, and you can see all of these buttons that I have programmed using the method that you use to program it, which is basically, let me just delete one of these, hold down the button and then click the part of the screen where you want it to correspond to. Need to hold down for a little bit. And I've done that with a lot of different parts of the screen, as you can see, and what this does, it actually translates button input into touchscreen input, so it doesn't matter what app is sort of behind, because this emulates touchscreen input on a root level. So as I exit the mode and I actually started recording a video, so just what I played around with doing for this is that I programmed the set trigger to focus in the middle of the screen. It's having trouble focusing right now because it's laying flat on the table, but that basically focuses it, so you don't have to sort of shoot randomly. The A button is the sort of trigger, or in this case the record button. I also programmed the 1 and 2 button to correspond to this area of the screen, so if I click 1 it switches to camera mode, and if I click 2 it switches to movie mode or video recording mode. And then the last buttons, which are the D-pad buttons, I actually programmed to control the flash. So if I click the left button, it opens the flash selection menu, and then the 3 other buttons select whether or not I want to have flash or no flash or auto flash. So for instance, if I wanted to do a remote video with the LED turned on and actually record a video, I would do like so, and the LED should be on, but it isn't for some reason. Oh, I didn't actually activate a flash. Let's see. There we go. Whoops. There we go. I activated the flash in the camera mode and not the video recording mode. That's why it didn't work. So I mean, this is using root and using a game controller. You can basically use any game controller you want and probably get a mouse and keyboard and everything to work as well, but it just goes to show that some of the features that come out on these new and revolutionary devices are actually features that it doesn't take you long to actually program into any other device, and if I may say so myself, I think this is more useful than having just a trigger, because you can actually focus and do all sorts of things. So that's just a quick video to show you 2 different methods of getting the functionality on something besides the HTC One X, using a V controller, one that doesn't require root and one that does require root. So hopefully this is useful to someone, and as always, thank you for watching.